Hello everyone, this is Sanjit Kumar Singh, lecturer in Electronics and Telecommunication Department at Praveen Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology, Bandar East. In this presentation, I have brought to you the fundamentals of fiber optic communication of the subject Optical Network and Satellite Communication of the 6th semester, that is one of the optional subject in this semester. So, topics to learn in this presentation are advantages of optical fiber communication, disadvantages and applications. The marks allocated for this chapter 1 is 12 marks and 8 hours lecture is required. Learning outcomes expected are having completed this presentation. The learner is expected to comprehend the great advantages and usefulness that optical fiber cable offers, and secondly to have knowledge of the disadvantages associated with the optical fiber cable. So now let's see what are the advantages, major advantages that optical fiber cable offers. First and foremost we see is the wider bandwidth the optical fiber offers. Optical fiber have a higher information carrying capacity. Earlier the main limitation posed by the coaxial cables or telephone wires was its bandwidth, and hence its information carrying capacity was limited. But with the advent of the optical fiber cables, this drawback has been overcome, as it offers larger bandwidth. And for the different types of optical fiber, for the single mode, graded and index mode, we see a different higher bandwidth, that is 100 gigahertz kilometer, 500 megahertz kilometer, and so on. So secondly, lower loss is taking place in optical fiber, and this makes it suitable for long haul communication or long distance communication. Thirdly, lightweight. Since the material used for the construction of optical fiber cable is glass and plastic mostly, so they are lighter, and hence they are beneficial in areas where the lightweight is critical, like in the aircraft and other aviation technology. Then fourth, a small size. The smaller size or diameter of the optical fiber, that could be in the range 10 micrometer to 50 micrometer for the core and cladding, than that of the copper cables or other electrical wires, which occupies more space as compared to the optical fiber, and hence it is beneficial in many applications. So in the adjacent left hand side table, we see for the different single mode and multi mode, the cladding and the core diameter could be ranging from, for the core it could be 8 to 10 micrometer for single mode, and for multi mode it could be 50 to 62.5 micrometer for the multi mode, and cladding 125 micrometer diameter to 200 or 200 plus micrometer could be there. Next advantage that the optical fiber offer is security of information. So secured information transmission and reception, particularly for the military communication, is required and expected, and in such an environment of course them it is very beneficial, as it can't be tapped easily, and that is due to the optical fiber not radiating any electromagnetic field out of the cable. So that's make the information more secure. And next we have the immunity from interference and crosstalk. So since it is not radiating, interference of crosstalk is not possible. And next we have the greater safety, that is due to the dielectric nature of the glass and plastic, and they don't carry the electricity like the conventional copper cables or copper wires. and therefore poses no electrical or shock hazards, and therefore it is more safe and secured means of communication through optical fiber communication cables. Here is another slide that represents the different advantages with respect to the bandwidth, with respect to the speed, and the size of the cable and reliability, and in terms of the cost and economy, and the security issues, how it is beneficial is depicted here. Now, other than this, there are many disadvantages also associated with it, and we will see where the optical fiber or fiber optical cable will be used. So, let us see the major disadvantages of fiber optic cables. First and foremost is costly. The optical fiber cables are costlier compared to the copper wires, copper cables, and it is very difficult to splice and requires special splicing machines and instruments. And optical fiber, since they are smaller in diameter, here thick the optical fibers we have, and to work on that small structure is very difficult, and moreover since it is made of glass, brittleness is its inbuilt property, so care has to be taken not to break the optical fiber cable. And switching and routing is also costly affair and is difficult as compared to the conventional copper wire and cables system. The instruments, test instruments or the techniques are different and costly. In the adjacent diagrams or figures we see the different instruments used, one of which is OTDR, is for testing the optical fiber cable and finding the attenuation provided at different stages of the length of the optical fiber cable. So, these equipments are very costly and thus makes the optical fiber communication a costlier one as compared to the conventional telephone wires or copper cables. Now, let us see what are the applications where it will be used. So, local and long distance telephone system make use of optical fiber communication or optical fiber cables. Then secondly, TV studio to transmitter interconnection is done with the help of fiber optic cables and removing the microwave link required, that is a heavy structure and costly too. Then third, CCTV systems also make use of this optical fiber cable within the buildings for security purpose, and since secure communication system is possible in optical fiber cable, therefore is used at military bases for communication. Then in computer network, wide area WAN and LAN, local area network, optical fiber cables are used. Chipboard communications is also implemented with the help of optical fiber. Then like in the aircraft controller and communications, the nuclear plant instrumentation, data acquisition and control signal communications in industrial process control systems. Next, interconnection of measuring and monitoring instruments in plants and labs. In college campus communications, we can use the optical fiber cables. Here is another slide that shows the different areas in which optical fiber cables can be used. So, here we summarize what we have learned in this presentation. Advantage, we saw the wider bandwidth, higher data rate is possible, less loss is taking place, a small size and weight of the optical fiber cable, security of the information, immunity of the optical fiber communication link, then greater safety, and major drawbacks we saw the expensive, it is costlier, it is difficult for splicing, switching and routing is difficult, and costly equipments as also the test equipments or the other accessories are also costlier. Skilled labors are required, that is also one of the drawback. And applications of optical fiber, we saw that it is used for short and long distance communication, for CCTV, LAN, WAN, aircrafts, nuclear plant, measurements of various parameters. These optical fiber cables can be used, and down here we see the references for further studies. Thank you very much. That's all.